The woman just slept. She woke up to find herself lying on a smooth surface. The scene in front of her was unbelievable. The woman was too scared to move. She could only press her body against the ground and use her hands to support the sides of her body, in case she slipped off the cliff. When she regained her senses, she began to look carefully at her situation and realized that her feet were on top of an abyss with no bottom. To her right was a curved tunnel with no end in sight. Above her was a curved wall with no visible height. Faced with such a desperate situation, the woman was so scared that she didn't know what to do. But in order to survive, she had to get away from the abyss. First, she retracted her right foot, retracted to the cliff. After stabilizing her center of gravity, she began to turn her body. Then she pressed her hands against the wall to make sure she doesn't lose control of her body. When everything is ready, you start to turn your body, but then all of a sudden, the wall is too slippery, and the woman's body is even closer to the abyss than before. The woman can only keep adjusting her breathing to prevent her center of gravity from slipping. Looking at her right hand, which was covered in blood from rubbing against the wall, the woman could only endure the pain. She scrubbed all the bloodstains from her hand. After successfully holding down the wall, she raised her left hand and dried the blood on her hand in the same way. The pain made her whole body tremble, but in order to survive, the woman can only press her cut left hand against the wall again. She lifted her right foot, which had regained its mobility. After stabilizing her right foot on the wall, she used her hands to support her body and leaned back. Luckily, this time she managed to move back 5 centimeters, although it's only a few centimeters. But for a woman, it was as difficult as climbing a mountain. Just as the woman wiped her bloodied hands, she was about to retreat. She suddenly realized, on the cliff directly in front of her, a pair of bloody handprints suddenly appeared, almost identical to the woman's sliding marks. A horrible thought came to her mind. She put her right hand on the wall. There was another pair of bloody handprints on the opposite wall at the same time. Where is this place? Is this a dream? But the tingling in her hand is so real. The woman panicked. She has to get out of here now. But no matter how hard the woman tries to pull back, slides back into place. With a drop of rain on her palm, the rain that she feared the most came after all. Then the sky suddenly flashed with lightning and thunder. This also instantly shattered the woman's last desire to survive. Watching the rain fall uncontrollably, the steep surface of the cliffs became even smoother. The woman let out a hiss of despair. She couldn't think of any other way. How else could she survive? At that moment, she suddenly remembered that she had a necklace around her neck. She pulled it off and wrapped it around her blood-stained right hand to increase the friction in her palm. But even so, her body was still there, sliding uncontrollably towards the abyss. And as the camera pans, the woman finally disappears into this curved abyss.